Welcome to your Monday. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne, a.k.a. your Mr. Monday, and this quick bit of motivation and inspiration was originally published on August the 2nd, 2021. The original message goes as follows. Being a leader is a privilege you should hold dear, and those who look to be led have the power to dismiss the bad leaders so that the true leaders can rise up. So let's go deeper into this message. And this is one that you should take to heart because people who listen to this podcast and podcasts like this tend to be people who want to be on the cusp of leadership, want to be in charge or want to be people around the people taking charge and making things happen. They want to be go-getters. The honor of being a leader, being seen as someone as a leader is pretty good, pretty heavy. And something that you should really have an honor to have that position. If someone sees you as a leader, someone is willing to be led by you, you should take in all consideration everything it does to make sure those people are being led properly and then being taken care of in downtime. Because leadership is more than just yelling commands and telling people what to do. It really is taking care of the people who actually are just taking care of the leader. The leader has a vision, if you will, and it's other people who have to make that vision come to fruition. And so it's basically a matter of the leader knowing how to take care of the people who are good at taking care of them and their mission. And I like to think things as mission because I go back to my military thought processes of things being in a mission. Your goal is to do something, and when you accomplish it, you grade it and then go to the next mission because life is just a bunch of different missions, one after the other, not just a long, continuous sort of blah that you just sort of live through. That being said, everyone around who is being led by a person has a bit of power in their possession. And it gets really powerful when they band together and they choose who to be led by. You see this in elections. That's pretty obvious where we're literally choosing point A or point B or maybe from a slathering of people who's going to be in charge of whatever. If it's a presidential election, for example, the last one we had was pretty tumultuous, as was the one before that and the one before that and a few others before that, because we see ourselves here in the United States as the beacons of freedom and the person who's in charge of the United States, the quote unquote leader of the free world. So we take a lot of weight in picking that leader, and we hope that someone comes through that is good enough to uphold those standards. On smaller levels, you elect senators and representatives and governors and smaller level representatives and mayors and councilmen, and you select people to be in charge. But it's a direct selection. That means the people out there being led, the people out there allowing you to work for them as a leader, can vote you out of office, can choose to pull you out of office, can pull you down. Same thing happens in other situations. I talk about sports a lot because I've worked for a long time in media and sports. And one thing you see for a team, when a team loses confidence in a star player or in a coach, they stop playing for the player and the coach. That player gets on the court and they just somehow forget how to score. I said court because basketball popped in my head. So if a star player comes on the basketball court, everybody just can't seem to know how to dribble or pass anymore. If a coach has their confidence lost in any sport, the players don't listen to his commands, don't step up like they should. And even though it's in their best interest to play to win, often they play to lose to have the coach end up losing their jobs. That happens a lot in those things. Happens a lot more in corporate culture, if you will, where people will lose their faith in their bosses and at some point in time realize that their work-life balance is really sucks. And if they're just so depressed with what's going on, they stop working. And because it's easier to fire a boss and hopefully get a better boss, and hope is what you hope for, they stop working for a particular person. And when change must be made, they go with the easier thing and find a new boss to run things and hopefully run things better. So if you see yourselves as a leader, whether in a corporate world, whether in a situation where it's a volunteer aspect, whether you are coaching some sort of team on a little league level or a college level or a professional level, if I have those type of coaches on there, it is a privilege to be in charge. It's a privilege for people to look up to you. And so you need to make sure you revere in that privilege. You hold that thought process dear, that people are going to listen to you and learn from you and, even though metaphorically, die for you. Maybe you're a military leader and people do actually die for causes and die for people. That does actually happen. But as a leader, you have to understand what the possibilities are. You also know that even if you are not truly elected to that spot, you can be dismissed as a bad leader and not listened to pretty quickly once people determine that you aren't the leader for them that can help them get the mission done. So, as a leader, taking this back to the basic military standpoint, know the mission, know who the people you're leading and why you're leading them, what they're supposed to do, and help them to accomplish that mission. Help them be their best selves in what it is you're trying to accomplish and in other things, because that will also help garner more loyalty towards them wanting you to be their leader. And if you see shades of your leadership being not so great, figure out what it is that's not so great. In fact, talk to your people and let them tell you what's not working and improve on it as best as possible. The other thing about this is when you get demoted, when you get pushed out, when things don't go your way, do what you can not to cause a big stink and fight it. Because chances are it's pretty obvious that you're not doing well as a leader, that something's not working. People aren't just revolting because, it's May and every May they have to, shuffle out the old guy and bring somebody new in. People will keep you along as long as you are a great leader. Even if you're no longer in that position, they'll still look towards you as a person to get information from and get advice from. So if you find yourself being pushed out because you're a bad leader, get over yourself, get over your ego, because if you're an actual good leader, you will get over yourself and get over your ego and repackage yourselves to be a better leader for that next group and not try to fight down everyone else in the process, because trust me, it just is not worth the effort. It's not worth the fight. Being a leader is a privilege you should hold dear. And those who look to be led have the power to dismiss the bad leaders so that true leaders can rise up. This original message was published on August the 2nd, 2021 from Welcome to Your Monday. For messages like this one, plus books, merchandise, and other information related to this project, visit the website, welcometoyourmonday.com.